Hello, I'm Autumn from itsalwaysautumn.com, and today I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Photoshop Elements 15 to create memes that you can share on Facebook to boost engagement on your Facebook page. Today we're going to talk about starting with a photo and adding text in quick mode of Photoshop Elements. This is the easiest to use mode of Photoshop Elements. Things are very intuitive. We're just going to start by opening a photo. We will start with this picture of my son fishing from years ago. It's a good photo to turn into a meme because there's a lot of open space in the photo where I can put some words that doesn't have a lot of distracting things in the background. The first thing I'm going to do is crop it. Anytime I create a meme or something for Facebook, I want to crop it into a square because that square things just do better on Facebook. Down here at the bottom, I can set the height and the width. And when I'm working on a picture for Facebook, I choose 1,000 pixels wide and 1,000 pixels high. Now that's too small for something that you want to print out and display on the wall, but it's perfect for web size. So we can just move this around, use the corners here to make the crop box bigger or smaller until we have just what we want showing in the crop box. And then we just hit the green check mark and that commits the crop. The next thing I want to do is pump up the color in this photo. It's really kind of drab and I think it could look a lot better. In quick mode, over on the side, you have a bunch of quick adjustments that you can make with just one click. So we'll pull down the color menu and we're under saturation. And we can just click on one of these boxes to either desaturate the photo or add saturation to the photo. I'm going to click on this one right here because that brings in a lot of really beautiful colors in the water there. Making the colors brighter is also going to make it easier for us to see white text on top of these colors. So it's a good thing to do when you're making a meme. So to add the text, hit T or come over here and click the text tool. Down here we can choose what font we want. And I'm going to use this one called Frenty. It's a free font. And then we can also choose the color that we want our text to be in. You can pick one of these default colors or you can click on the little circle rainbow and you can click around or add numbers to choose any color you like. I just want white. Okay, I'm just going to click right on my photo and start typing. Okay, once I hit the check mark, then I can click on the text and a box will show up around it. I can grab one of the corners and pull to make my text bigger. I can also just grab it and move it around to put it wherever I want on the photo. I like how this looks. I like the white is easy to read on the water, but I do want these words to be centered. So I'm going to click T again and then click and drag all of my text. And down here, I can just click the button to center the text. I could also add bold or italic or anything else right there. And then click the green check mark again and click and drag it back into position. Easy enough? That meme is done. I'm going to come up under File and go to Save for Web. Save for Web is a really nice option in Photoshop Elements because it'll compress your files so that they're not quite so big. If you just did a normal save, you'd see that this file would be 2.86 megabytes. And over here, it's only 1. So it's less than half as big, but the quality is going to be just the same. So we can just save it and then upload it onto Facebook and hope that people share it like crazy. Okay, on to the next one. Let's open up another photo and make another meme. We're going to use this flower photo. I'm going to start by cropping it again. So we'll hit C and then just move this crop box around until it looks how I want it to. Again, I'm trying to make sure that there's plenty of kind of open space that I can put text on, so it'll be easy to read. And then before we bumped up the saturation of our photo, I'm going to show you a few other things you could do. One way to make sure that white text will show up well on a photo is to take the exposure down. So we can just click exposure and then click on one of these other squares that show examples of our photo with the exposure changed. If you want to make sure that dark text will show up well, you can actually bump the exposure up like that. I'm going to leave it in the middle right now and show you these effects options. So down at the bottom, right next to adjustments, I'm clicking effects. These are really fun because you can add a whole new look to your photo in just one click. So this is just fun to scroll through and look at. So how pretty is this if we add a vintage effect to the photo? That's actually kind of perfect for this photo. It's really beautiful. I want a different one, so I'm going to undo the vintage effect by hitting Command Z. And I'm going to choose this toy camera effect instead. I just kind of like that washed out look. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so we're going to add text the same way we did before. Hit T to get our text tool, type tool, go down to the bottom and enter in the font I want to use. I'm going to use white again. And then I'm just going to start typing in the quote. Once we've typed in our text, we can click on it and grab one of the corners to resize it. Okay, this is really pretty, but since some of it is over the rows, it's a little bit hard to read. So I want this all right justified. I'm going to click T to get my text tool again and drag it all, and then click this button down here to align the text right. Okay, that's looking better. I want to do one last thing, so I'll grab my text tool again by clicking T and drag it. I am going to change the leading. You can see the leading right here. The leading is what controls how much space there is in between each line of text. If we do a smaller number here, you'll see that the size of the text isn't changing, but the lines of text are closer to each other. Or if we enter in a bigger number, it splits it, gives a little more room in between each line of text. And I like that because it just fits a little bit nicer in our photo. Okay, meme number 2 is complete. We can go under File to Save for Web and save that one and start sharing it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more really quickly. Let's open up this photo. We'll start by cropping it square, just like we did with all the other ones. And then I think I'm going to bump up the color saturation just a little bit. Whoops, I actually took it down. Let me try that one more time. There we go. Then I'm going to click over to guided mode up at the top. This is something you'll really want to explore. Guided mode in Photoshop Elements is full of guided edits, which means that the application walks you through how to do a whole bunch of fun things to your photos. You can enhance the color, you can change it to black and white, you can crop and straighten, and then there's lots of fun edits you can do as well. I just want to show you this one called Effects Collage. For this guided edit, you can split your photo up into different sections, 2, 3, or 4 sections. And then you can just choose a style, and the software will add a different effect to each different section in your photo. So let's just show you how that looks. Okay, it's just something different and kind of fun and something fun to play with. So you'll want to spend some time just playing around with some of these different guided edits. I'm going to click Next and then continue editing in Quick. And here I am right back to Quick mode where I started. I'll click T to add some text. This time, instead of hitting Enter in between each word I type, I'm going to type a word and then click again to type a new word on a different line. So let me show you that. Okay, we click the green check mark, hit T again, and click again. The reason I did this is because now each piece of text is separate, and I can change the size of each one individually. Okay, to make sure these are centered, I'll click the first one and then hold the Shift key and click the other two as well. And once I do that, down here underneath, I'll see some align buttons. I can click left to align left, middle to center it, or right to align right. I'm going to click middle, and then I can use my arrow keys to just move this around until it's exactly where I want it in the photo. Meme number 3, ready to go. Thanks for watching. Check back at itsalwaysautumn.com for lots more Adobe Photoshop Elements tips and tutorials.